Hello, Woody. Hey, buddy. Today we will talk about the superspectrum. Basically, you knows about the electromagnetic spectrum already, right? We live in visible light, which is part of the visible spectrum. Outside of visible light, on one end we have infrared waves and microwaves and radio waves. And on the other hand, we have ultraviolet waves and X-rays and gamma rays and then cosmic rays. And then we also have the sonic spectrum, which includes the infrasonic sound and ultrasonic sound and stuff. And then we have the magnetic fields beyond that. And then we have begins the super spectrum, another spectrum of energies that starts off with the gravity fields, and then which is the lowest which is the lowest frequency of the super spectrum. We know gravity exists, but we don't know what exactly it is. According to John Keel, it is an energy field part of the super spectrum. So we have gravity on the lowest end of the super spectrum, and then above that we have ESP, and that we have ample evidence for, but we still don't know much about it. So it is another field of the super spectrum, and then beyond that we have we have dowsing fields. We know that, for example, when you hold those metal things, they can detect energies, and we still don't know what these energies are. So these are the dowsing fields. And then beyond that, we have clairvoyance and clairaudience, which are psychic fields. We still don't understand well. Clairaudience is where you hear something that no one else can hear, and then the clairvoyance is what you see what no one else can see. And this is another field of the super spectrum. We don't fully understand it. And beyond that, we have mediumship fields, and this is what mediums tune into. And when they see and hear things that we don't see, this is the medium. When they contact these entities we don't see, this is the mediumship field. And then over here we also have the schizophrenic. The people who are schizophrenia are somehow tuned to this field too, in some way. And then beyond that, we have black stream fields, which also exist. And then even beyond that, we have biological energies like the aura and all these energies of the biology that living things give off, that we still cannot detect, but we know they exist, and animals may use it to communicate. We have the biological fields, and then we have super high energies, which are even beyond that. And then the highest frequency of the super spectrum is God himself, or a godlike force, and basically that controls the super spectrum and all the lower spectrums and controls everything underneath. And then it is through this godlike force that the intelligence arises, and it creates intelligently designed manifestations in the lower spectrum all the way down to the material world. And it is the super spectrum where the ultraterrestrials reside. They are basically sentient or semi-sentient energy fields from the super spectrum that exist in the super spectrum, but they change their frequency and lower until they reach the visible spectrum, and then they organize themselves into atoms and appear in any form they like. And this is how monsters come, and this is how UFOs come, and this is how ghosts come. This is all works of the super spectrum. And basically we ourselves were created from this energies, the super spectrum, godlike energies that basically organized energy into matter, and then that's how we were created. And these Bigfoots and monsters, they are coming from the super spectrum, and they are basically ultra terrestrial in nature. Thanks, Woody.